So Paul, how long have you been playing the piano, or let's go start with that. How long have you been playing?
4 or 5 years.
4 or 5 years? Okay, wow, great. And how long have you been playing the WC piece? You know, do you remember when you started it? It's been a while.
Yeah.
Are you working on the whole suite, or just the? This piece is part of a set of 6 pieces called Children's Corner.
I'm working on the whole suite.
You are working on it, on the whole? Great, great. Yeah, so yeah, go ahead and put the music up. We should. This is a tricky piece to read. There are a lot of clef changes, especially in the bottom staff, right? So it starts with treble clef in both staffs, and then switches to bass, goes back to treble, and it's doing that, practically all the way through. So just be careful. There are a couple places where I think you're misreading a clef, and hopefully we'll have time to get to those. But it may have just been today. But we'll try and see what we can do. I don't know, maybe today is just going to be discussing a lot about the pedal, not about the soft pedal, in your case with the sustain pedal. I felt like it was actually there was a little bit too much of it. Debussy is known for a lot of pedal effects in his music, but in this particular piece, I think the pedal should be more judiciously used. You use it in certain places and not in others. And even though he was usually fairly fastidious with his markings, he doesn't write anything in the music about the pedal. So it is sort of up to you. But so this is just me. But even at the very beginning, I wonder whether we could try just see what happens. So try no pedal. Try no pedal. Just see what happens. Here you could use it. Right there where it's marked forte. Yeah. Also, by the way, actually maybe this isn't a clef thing, but it's actually a low E. Yeah. So we want to really hear that difference. We've been constricted to this, and then suddenly, right? So it's tricky technically to get there, right? Because your left hand is up here. So in fact, we were just saying about the pedal. By the way, that I don't know what you all thought. I liked that. I liked what you did, because actually I thought came out a lot better when you didn't have a pedal. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah? Yeah. So even though we assume that there's pedal in Debussy in general, I think sometimes actually you really don't need it. So could you try from, let's go from the right where the melody comes in. Just right there, and then let's see if we can get that low E. Great, beautiful. So that was sort of the first big moment. Where's the second big moment's at the bottom of the first page, where you have, and this piece really, I think, is there's a lot of sudden dynamic changes that you could make more of. So why don't we, let's go from the, so just right after that low E, just start anywhere in there. Okay, good. good. So here, right, so here you actually, there's, so when we have leaves, okay, so Paul, maybe just before when we have leaves, what we really want to be able to do, first of all, is practice the leaps so we know where we're leaping to, right? There's nothing worse in a performance than suddenly thinking, I don't know where I'm leaping to, and all of a sudden the keys all look like they're the same, right? So you know where the leap is, but you have to practice getting to it. You know, it's the old saying, look before you leap. So we're going to look for that interval. So find it now. Maybe just play that interval. Okay. So, but you're going to look for that when you're up here, when your left hand is up on the Can you just try the left hand? No right hand. Just try the left hand. Right. Do it one more time. See if you can actually. Your left hand is actually going to have to be out because your right hand will be right above it. So your left hand will actually be out here. And what I would recommend for this, if your hand is actually, I think your hand is wide enough. Try 5-2 for the, is that okay? Yeah, you don't need to reach with the thumb. You don't need to reach with the thumb. Just play the 5-2. And you can play it out, so you don't have to go in. Right, you don't have to go in. Now try, and you just go straight across. Okay, but wait. I wonder, could you also do, so I'm making you change things here. Not maybe, we'll see if you like this. Try 5-2 here also. The reason for that is because then you see where my hand is? I don't have to be inside. So my right hand is already inside. So your left hand can be out. Try that. You're on the right track. I think you're still thinking you want to go in to the black key area. You really don't. Try that again. There, that one. Bottle that one. That was it. Okay. I know it's a weird fingering, 5-2, but if your hand opens naturally, the 5-2, when you play it out, does not feel stretched. And again, 2. Okay. So, you were not holding up 2 fingers. Okay. Does it make sense that when your right hand is here, if your left hand is here, your hands are going to collide. But if your left hand comes out, do you see where my hands are now? Yeah, I think that's going to feel easier. And it's going to be easy for left hand to get out of the way of the right hand. Yeah. This piece is a lot of the hands, one on top of the other. Let's go, we don't have time obviously. Can we go to this?
You still have about 10 minutes.
Oh, okay, great. Let's go to the odd tempo. No, this is good because there's more I wanted to look at on each page. Let's go to the second page. And I want you to try the odd tempo on the 4th line, but just really slow, just out of tempo, not up to tempo, because there's more leaves here. Okay, so Paul, could you play the right hand just by itself, just the right hand? Yeah, something about the right hand. Yeah, good. That was better. I feel like, are you afraid of playing too loud there? Maybe. I feel like you're sort of afraid to play this. It's actually the melody. But it right now it's not coming across that way. So we want a little bit more sound. Do you have dashes over the second beat and third beat? Yeah, that actually means That's a stress. That's kind of, it just says, bring me out. Bring out that top note. Can you bring those out a little bit? Okay. It's better, but I wonder whether you could just, let's just do the second beat. And I want you to just play it as loud as you can. Okay, how about, here's where I think maybe I can just talk a little bit about the hand and forearm. See if you can use the forearm more to drop your, watch me for a second. So I'm using the forearm. I think you're trying to do it with your hand. See if you can release. Can you do this with me for a second? Just take your whole hand and forearm. Can you just drop it into your lap? Like, yeah, that's it. Use that. Use the way you have already in your forearm. And just drop it right onto that 3-5. You're just, there, that was good. That was good. That looked more like you were using the arm and not your hand as much. How does that feel different? Yeah? Yeah. Also, when you come down, your hand looks very flat. Is it possible that your hand could actually have, you know what your hand looks like when you're, yeah. So there's your knuckle bridge can be a little bit, it's, okay, so here's what you're doing. You're doing this. Can you actually, so you went from this to this. It's sort of in the middle of that spectrum. Can your fingers just look like, yeah. Can you sort of play it like that? Is that possible? There you go. Okay, that's on the right track. So I would say, think about slightly less straight fingers on the black keys in particular. And then really, more importantly though, think about just releasing the wave from here, not from the hand. Because it'll feel a lot better. I promise you that. And then you can control the sound more. Try just those 4 intervals. Good. Okay, good. That was right. That's you now your hand doesn't look like it's like not sure about what to do there. You look a lot more confident. Does that feel? How did that feel? Did that feel better? Okay. So we'll leave that to your practicing. Could we go to the next page and maybe start the Anonymat un peu? Actually, before that, so the right page. Yeah. So starting. So we're on the 4th line. Yep. Let's just play from there. I'll stop you. Good. Right here, Paul. This is what. Remember, we were talking about sudden dynamic changes. Here's a good example. So you can come back more on the bottom line, right? So he's crescendoing to piano, right? So it's getting louder and louder. Whoop, then it's soft again, right? So he's not crescendoing to forte. Okay, can you try? Let's start in the same place. Same place to start. Okay, right there. You're misreading the flat. The flat that's marked in the left hand is actually for the D. It's not for the E. Yeah. That's it. Yeah, it's a funny. So it's a tied D, it's the tied D flat. For whatever reason, he marks it again. I think, if I'm correct, the D flat does not get replayed, but he marks the flat there just for whatever reason, to remind you that it's still a flat, but the E is definitely natural. Okay, so both there and 2 measures later, where you have the. Could we try it right there, just on the beginning of the line? Right. Go ahead. Okay, I would not pedal this at all. I would. Try it without pedal. You're doing the opposite of what I think Debussy says. Debussy says to diminuendo. But you're doing the opposite. Could you try diminuendoing there? And then I would, good. I would just come off. Dun, dun, dun. Try now, okay. So also, Paul, see if you can. I think the staccato. It's hard to play staccato pianissimo. Believe me. This is. It looks so much. It looks so much easier than it actually is. Mark up the dynamic. Pretend it's piano rather than pianissimo just for now. So good. One thing I think, just in general, to tell you is. I would have both hands on the keys, even sometimes when they're not playing. So that way, when the left hand comes in, it's there, right? Try it one more time. Good. Okay, good. Now, right here, this says piano, but I think it could be. You could start at maybe mezzo piano and then come down more. Right. And then there's a whole lot more we could do. One more note to tell you. At the on the very last page, do we have time for just on the top line? Check your left hand on that big chord. On the big chord. That's it. Yeah, that's it. So it's still in the treble clef, right? And I think he rolls to the right, but I think you could roll the whole thing. Yeah, and then just let it go. It's only an eighth note. Just let it go. Yeah, there you go. It's more effective that way. Yeah. But beautiful, really beautiful. A lot of promise. Sounds great.